good, y'all? Episode 100 of the weekly patch notes. Yakunin, whatever 100 is, Max will know what that is. You know what I'm saying? All you anime lovers out there as well. Welcome to episode 100 of the weekly patch notes, brought to you by Skip. You know it best. I'm your boy Tom Ziri, your host, and with me I've got Kid Kojizi. What is good, fam?
I'm chilling, bro. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm feeling good, man. Yes, what a flippin' monumentous moment. Well, a lot of people would think, whatever, episode 100, but with us joining again, coming back from I don't want to say dead because he wasn't dead. He was just chilling, doing his thing. What is good, Max? Well,
Yo. Not much.
Yeah, welcome back, my guy. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Episode 100, it's just going to be real. You know what I'm saying? We're going to do shout outs only at like the end of the episode. But yeah, for now, we're going to keep it chill. We're going to keep it the same thing as always, giving you guys the updates of everything that has been happening in the past week in the gaming world and the content creator world. All the good things that's been going on in the past week, good or bad. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, not to belabor the point, let's get right into it. First of all, do we have any announcements or admin from anybody?
Just a shout out for all the people that made it to episode 100. What's good?
Yeah, dog. Yeah. Like I mentioned, we'll do shout outs at the end. There's quite a long list of peeps, you know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all have asked me to not put out, like your real name. So I'll do my best to mention your gamer tags. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening up until this point, you know what I'm saying, joining us on this journey. Yeah, Kojo, you got anything on your side, bro?
No, nothing.
All right, aware. For me, I think the only update that I do have is, you know what I'm saying, guys, we've been having Formula One coming back. Everything's been good, you know what I'm saying? Team Papaya is at the top of the grid. Shouts out to Lando and all that. So it's been going good, man. It's been going good. At the moment right now, we say Changanghua to China for the Grand Prix that's going to be happening this week of the recording. So yeah, man, hopefully Papaya is going to be coming out once again on top position. But with that being said, your boy's been playing a lot of F124, trying to replicate his team's greatness. And any of y'all haters out there, man, it's okay. We bleed orange. But anyways, getting right into the gaming news, Max, what have we got from this week, my guy?
So this week hasn't really been much going on. The only piece of update or piece of news I've got to share with everyone is about Assassin's Creed Shadows, where Ubisoft decided to get their lawyers out and ready for harassment. So as we typically know, there's two parts to this. So first part is building up to Assassin's Creed Shadows. There were a lot of people who were very iffy against it because, you've got a black man in Asia, and there was a whole lot of discussion about whether it's historically accurate, whether Yusuke existed, or Yusuke? I think it's Yusuke, existed and all of that stuff, but let's not get into all of that. But you had people who were very negative feelings toward that. Then we have other people who are negative feelings because of having a female character. So, there's a whole corner who weren't pleased with Assassin's Creed, and they were ready to shit on it no matter what. And that's, in today's modern situation, that's the case with every game. There's always a group of people who are ready to shit on a game for whatever reason because the game is doing something they don't like. That's the first factor. Then the second factor is how in recent times, whenever people have a game they don't like, they like threatening the developers, employees, and all of these different things. So in preparation for a shit show, Ubisoft got their lawyers ready, where they, one, informed their employees not to post anything about Assassin's Creed Shadows, and two, if anybody harasses their employees, they were going to seek their lawyers onto those people for harassment. But as Assassin's Creed's come out, seems to be the case that the word on the street is pretty positive. But again, maybe the people who like to criticize are quiet because they're scared of the lawyers. I don't know. But me personally, I'm not a fan of this tactic by Ubisoft. A lot of people might be like, nah, come on. Developers need to be protected, wada. I prefer the letting people do as they please because, one, I think people are stupid. Don't really be afraid of their threats and whatnot. Don't take them seriously. And two, I like to see what the general feel of a situation is. Because most often than not, it gives you a rough idea of what the situation really is like, as opposed to being in an ivory tower or being in a glass box or whatever expression you can use to describe having a tinted rose experience of something. So I've just seen that the general vibe of Assassin's Creed has been positive. I haven't seen any negativity, so I don't really know if this is an Assassin's Creed that people are like, yep, we are back to form, or nah, it's just that the whole threat of being lawyered is keeping people quiet and in their caves or under their bridges, if you get the references. But yeah, that's basically all that I have to share.
Alright, so then building onto what Max said, right? Now, it's been a while since most game companies have done this, whereby Ubisoft has released a day one patch for Assassin's Creed Shadows that removed the acts of vandalism from religious sites, following the concerns that was outlined by the Japanese government. The patch was made without any public announcement, so it was silent as hell because I think Ubisoft didn't want to admit, that they had made a huge boo-boo. But I mean, literally within Parliament, the Japanese government literally spoke about how they were not happy, about the game and the certain things that you could do in it, right? So then Ubisoft confirmed with the publication that it had released a patch that prevented the players from destroying tables and racks within the certain temples and the shrines within the game, right? And this was after the Japanese government had raised concerns about, the game being unacceptable, where players could do graffiti and vandalize some of the religious sites. Before the patch, for most people who had early access, players could break furniture, decorative items, within the shrines, and they could slash unarmed civilians. So the Japanese politicians and Liberal Democratic Party member, Hiroyuki Kara, raised the issue with the Japanese Prime Minister, stating that by allowing the players to attack and destroy real-world locations in the game without permission could encourage real-life behavior. So, bro, that's it's wild that this game has had, before it even came out, we already had our views, Max had mentioned how Yasuke, who's actually, a historical figure, a black samurai, and a woman shinobi in the game was going to be a problem. But you guys can also go check out some additional videos by I think his name is Real Life Gamer, his YouTuber, but Moiraha, where he pretty much gives his own review of the game. And I think the only negative side that most people had found was the voice actors of the American the English voice acting was just terrible. But if you played normally and it's Japanese, then they went all out. They did perfectly with regards to that. But yes, I mean, so many other people, especially actual Japanese natives, were saying that wake up, Ubisoft, and hear our voice. What kind of Assassin's Creed game destroys actual religious sites? Japanese culture is consumed but receives no respect. So yeah, man, everything that was then highlighted by Canada lecturer, there was a lecturer called Jeffrey J. Hall. He had mentioned that, the comments made didn't indicate that any action would be taken by the government. The government just said what they said, but, it doesn't look like the government's going to act out on the game. And I think with Ubisoft having done that silent release, pretty much saves them out of the hot water. However, the damage has been done to most, so it is 50-50. You can check the game out on Steam as well, where the reviews are already mixed. So far, nothing is sitting in the negative, but yeah, I mean, good luck to Ubisoft for the rest of it, because this was the game that they were hoping, would not lead to more layoffs, because, hey, dude, Yeah, shame. I feel for these guys, to be honest. I really do. Personally, I like the game. You know, with what I've seen so far, probably still gonna play it. But yeah, other than that, yeah, that's just how people are feeling about it. So yeah. Kojo, you got any gaming news, bro?
A couple.
Hmm.
So first off, there's a video game developer called People Can Fly.
What the fuck?
I know, right? Sick name. They've been around for a while. They've helped work on some Gears of War games. They're actually co-developing Gears of War E-Day, the newest Gears of War game coming up. And they also made some original IPs, one of them being Bulletstorm, which came out in 2011. And they announced via a report that they published that they are working with Sony Interactive Entertainment on a new game called Project Delta. And this game is, I quote, based on the intellectual property rights owned by the publisher, end quote. So people are like, what? It's based on the Sony IP? What? And so people are going crazy trying to figure out what game it could possibly be, what IP it could possibly be. And yeah, no, I think this is interesting news. People Can Fly are working on a whole other bunch of projects, you know, within their studio with other publishers. They're working on one with Square Enix. It's called Project Gemini, and apparently that one was set to be released in 2026. But who knows? We haven't heard anything of that game. So People Can Fly, they have their hands full, you know, with a lot of stuff. Next news, bouncing off of that, Sony have acquired a new first-party studio called Dark Outlaw Games. Well, acquired or formed. It's interesting. So basically, let's just say they formed it. So they formed it, led by industry veteran Jason Blundell. So Jason Blundell worked at Activision for 13 years, and he left in 2020 to form Deviation Games. Now, Deviation Games signed a deal with Sony to create an original IP. However, Blundell left Deviation Games in 2022, and then the developer laid off about 90 employees roughly a year later, and then by March 2024, Deviation Games was shut down. But it looks like Jason Blundell is bouncing back, and this is what he said, and I quote, "It's such a privilege to be able to do it with Sony as a new first-party studio, and by doing it means working on the game." He said that they have been working away in the shadows on unknown projects. So let me continue. Sony doesn't set up first-party studios all the time. To have that privilege is humbling. It's really nice. I'm really excited. End quote. And then, yeah, so he's really excited. And I'm keen to see what, you know, Hidden Shadows project that they're working on is. I hope for Sony's sake, it's not a live service game. I hope. But who knows? Anyway, yeah, that's it for my news. I'm done.
Alright, so wait, dope. Yeah, hey, People Can Fly and more layoffs. It just never ends, bro. 2025 is still just going to be one of those years again for the tech industry. Sad. All right, moving on to the gaming corner. Kojeezy, what's been coming out, bro? Besides the AC.
Yeah. So besides AC, we've got Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition, which is a remaster of the action RPG released on March 20th, 2025. Nintendo Switch, currently sitting at an 88 on Metacritic. Next, we have Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 Complete Edition, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series, Xbox One, a management's game, March 20th, 2025, currently sitting at a 72 on Metacritic. And then we have the big one of the month, and one of the big ones of the year, Assassin's Creed Shadows, as Tammy and Maxwell have spoken at length about it already in the news section. PC, PS5, Xbox Series, action adventure game, released on March 20th, 2025. Seeing as both of you have spoken at length about this and then how you guys have said it has positive reception, I'm assuming you both know its Metacritic score.
I know it's Steam score, but not Metacritic, no.
Okay, Maxwell?
I have a rough idea.
Which is?
82.
Yo, such praise. I'm gonna give it can I give it a 76?
Okay, 76. Maxwell's the closest. It's currently sitting at an 81.
Okay.
So yeah, moving on. There's one more game called Atelier Yumia, The Alchemist of Memories and the Envisioned Land. PC, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch. It's an RPG, March 21st, 2025, currently sitting at an 80 on Metacritic. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the releases of the week and the gaming corner. What about you guys?
Yeah, I don't have any releases that are big, I guess. Yeah, I got nothing. Max, any releases you know of, bro?
Nothing gaming specific to talk about at the moment.
It's bad. All right, look at that, flying through this, bro. Yes, century episode. Guys, we've reached the halfway point. So if you're liking this so far, please do leave a like and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? 100 is a hectic thing. Anyways, yeah, as we continue onto the content creator side, I only have one thing, which I suppose you could call it an update, but the thieves that robbed Amouranth have now been caught, and I'm not gonna go too hectic into it and give you guys the feedback. I mean, not the feedback, sorry, the history. You guys can go do that yourselves. But anyways, yeah, so according to sources, detectives had received a tip about stolen license plates from 2 vehicles, which led them to the apartment complex of Amouranth. Now, there were 2 cops that discovered school paperwork. Yes, that is right. School paperwork with the name DeMarcus Maury on it. And the last name was cut off a bit due to the damage. One of the individuals who was then arrested was DeMarcus Maury, DeMarcus Maury Jr., who is a 17-year-old. Now, a lot of people have been asking, like, okay, this at some point now just feels staged, right? So there's been a whole lot of controversy with regards to the whole Amouranth situation, it feeling staged. She had done a stream with her supposed husband. I say supposed because if you guys remember episodes from last year where we mentioned how she was pretty much attacked, held at, I don't want to say held at ransom, but like that whole situation where her husband was, abusing her on stream, saying how he was going to cut off her funding, get rid of her horses and her animals at, her little animal sanctuary, and hold her money captive, this and this and this, if she doesn't, perform well on like OnlyFans and all that other type of stuff. They seem to be very calm in the whole situation. Matter of fact, people are already shocked that she's just so blasé with her husband. With everything that happened, you would have thought a divorce would come through. But it just now seemed so very staged because of how calm they were talking about it. And now the fact that the people who got arrested for doing the home invasion were teenagers, students. It just, now a lot of people are calling it staged. Other people are busy saying that, in today's world, almost anyone of any age nowadays, obviously not, anyone younger than like 12, I guess. But I mean, you have people firing up in schools who are at that age too. But like, you can have people from any age nowadays who can attack you very easily. And now doxing and all these types of things, finding out a streamer's location isn't that difficult nowadays, especially with, AI coming into things and making it easier for people to find. Like famous people. So police were on the lookout for a dark color Toyota used in the home invasion in some of the videos that you guys would have seen if you checked them out. And on March 6th, a trooper stopped a Toyota driver for failing to use a turn signal and arrested him for not having a license plate. And it just so turned out that that person was tied to the home invasion of Amouranth. So very stupid, to be honest. The driver was Brian Salazar Guerrero. And he later on confessed that he was the getaway driver during the home invasion and claimed that his friend, another teenager, 18-year-old Dylan Nesho Campbell, coordinated the robbery. So a lot of people just think that this is come on. It feels so written, feels so scripted that it has to just be so close, to the whole situation that they got found so easily. It just doesn't make sense. But anyways, Guerrero was released on a $100,000 bond and claimed that he agreed to drive the vehicle in exchange for the stolen goods, and that he had dropped the trio off at the alleged robbers at the hospital, because remember, one of them had been shot by Amouranth. And yeah, those 3 suspects have now been charged with aggravated kidnapping and aggravated robbery with a deadly weapon. And that's pretty much the only update I actually have, to be honest. On content creator side, there was something else that I had seen. A lot of people are doing a memorial, well, not a memorial, but like just a remembrance of Tumad. There was a video out where they pretty much showed the good side of Tumad. So in case you guys forget who Tumad was, he had passed away last year recently. And he was, okay, this is going to be reaching when I say this, but he was basically the black Joji. Well, not Joji specifically, but the black Filthy Frank, technically. Revered that much. And he was also going to do some OnlyFriends things with Belle Delphine. But, well, he did actually, which was just a trolling type video. Yeah, and then he had passed. A lot of people were on the fence of like, no, he's a shitty person. His death was deserved. Whereas other people like, nah, dude, but at the end of the day, he gave us content. He was funny. He was just a genuine guy who was trying to make people laugh. Granted, he wasn't fit for most audiences, but it is what it is. I actually watched the video. It was actually kind of sweet, man. Like I pretty much changed my view on him completely. So yeah, I can't believe it's been that long.
I feel like nobody deserves to die.
Yes. Okay, that's good. Yeah.
Whether it's, self-deleting or getting murked out here. However, with that said, one thing I really dislike what people do is once somebody is out of here, they sanctify that person, which I think is the stupidest thing ever. There's nothing wrong with calling a spade a spade, and if a person was a shitty human being, they were a shitty human being. If it were not adding anything to this world, they were not adding anything to this world. Let's not sanctify people just because they're not anymore here.
No, you're right. I get you. I 100% get you. But it goes to the first point you made that no one deserves to die. So that's why I was like, you know what? He did do stupid shit way back when, but like, again, yeah, I mean, no one deserves to die, shame. Like, yeah, it was just interesting seeing footage that he had never released, that other people had of him, showing a different side of him. So it was very interesting. I was like, why couldn't he have just been like that from the start? But anyways, anything to get views, my guy. And yeah, so anything I have on content creator side. Max, do you have anything content creator side?
Nah, not really. I'm trying to quickly think if I've seen anything noteworthy, but the only thing I've been seeing is about the Tate brothers going around, and I'm like, I thought these guys are supposed to be under house arrest, but they're moving around freely.
Yeah, I also saw them on Aiden Ross's stream recently as well. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. But away, Kojo, content creator news?
Nah, not this time.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, that brings us to the eSports. You guys got anything, Kojo?
Not this week, but I should hopefully have some stuff for you next week.
Okay, away. Max, dare I ask?
Rarely ever do.
Okay. No stress, bro. No stress. The only thing I have as an update, Guma Yusi has now returned to SKT T1 starting lineup after the CEO had stepped in and demanded that he return. So, for most of you who don't know, T1 they had a decision to bench Guma Yushi and start Smash, who was their rookie ADC. So Guma Yushi is the ADC of SKT T1. ADC, again, for those of you who do not know, is attack damage carry. So basically your ranged characters that will fill in the bot lane next to a support character. So Smash, who was their rookie ADC from the Challengers team, was a controversial decision at the very start, because I mean, putting a rookie in the SKT T1 team so early within the year kind of is a bit weird. But anyways, Smash was a very good, strong player. But now, again, he has been replaced with Guma Yushi, returning to his spot as ADC. But this decision wasn't made in a typical fashion, all right? So usually with T1's coaching staff, looking at the performance of players, it's almost like a thing of they will always end up picking who they prefer rather than picking who statistically is best, right? So T1 CEO Joe Marsh took matters into his own hands and reinstated Guma Yushi himself. So it's kind of hectic within the reasons of the fact that the season starts in Feb, and now here we are in March, and this decision has now been done. So, shame to Smash. I guess you'll get his chance again to fight with T1 to get to, World Championships. So with Gumayushi back, you guys can best believe that I'm flipping excited to see what T1 is going to bring to League of Legends with regards to how the World Championships are going to take place at the end of this year. And that's pretty much all I have. And yeah, I guess that brings us to the end. But as I mentioned, we've got the shout outs. So first up, not in any specific order, shout out to Guam, aka Trey. Shout out to Mali. Shout out to Stan. Shout out to Dutch. Shout out to TJ, aka Scrutinous, aka Trent. You said I could say your name, so it is what it is. Shout out to Hector. Shout out to Albizi. Shout out to Simezi. Shout out to James as well. Shout out to Alfie. Shout out to Naledi. Shout out to Matt. Both Matt, actually. Shout out to Shishi. Shout out to my own sister. Shout out to my dad. Yeah, man, shout out to anyone else I'm forgetting. Those were the only ones I actually wrote on a list who have been following us for quite some time. And oh shit, actually shout out to Sims as well. Flip, how could I forget? Shout out to Sims as well. You guys are avid listeners. Every moment I get that you guys send messages saying you love the episode and all this, shout out to you. Really appreciate all your support. It means so much to us that we've come this far. Like I mentioned before, this isn't truly the 100th episode. It's actually episode 114, because before we were the weekly patch notes, we were simply just X to Skip podcast, where we had 14 episodes with 28 other episodes that were actually unlisted because we didn't have a name. Wait, did we have a name before X to Skip? Can't even remember. But yeah, like shout out to all of you guys hearing us when we were still on Buzzsprout and Spotify. And now here we are on YouTube giving you guys a weekly dose of all the gaming news that has been going on. We do look towards getting you guys more involved in more quizzes, more fun competitions and stuff going through. But, to keep it 98+2 with you guys, it isn't always easy, you know what I'm saying? Because podcasts nowadays, every motherfucker has a podcast, so long as we have you guys supporting us, it means a lot to us. And we want to find ways to give back to the community. Like I mentioned last week in the previous episode, we are going to be doing a very special long stream. Currently, right now, we are in the midst of a public holiday where we are. So it could be, it could not. It really just depends on how the weekend's going to go. But like I mentioned, please keep your ears and your eyes, well, mostly just your eyes, on our X profile or Twitter profile, just letting you guys know when the celebration stream is going to be taking place. The games that I have lined up for the stream, one of which I guess shouldn't really come as a surprise is F1 24, as well as we're going to be diving into some Black Desert Online, because flip, bro, that game is still something I just can't really get my head around. So it's going to be cool to just deep dive into it. You guys can pull through, have some fun, let's do some things, let's talk about some shit, react. If you guys got some interesting videos you want me to watch on stream, bring them through. Like I mentioned, I will be posting the date once this episode, by the time this episode is released, you guys would have already seen when the stream is going to be taking place, likely within the weekend of the 29th of March of 2025. So yeah, keep your eyes glued to any of the posts. And yeah, once again, thank you guys so much for supporting the show. Truly appreciate it. Once again, thanks to Max as well as Kid Kojo. It's been an honor with you, gents. Let's keep it going for another 100. And yeah, man, guys, keep on gaming on. I know some of you have been actually asking for merch. The only problem is X to Skip. I don't even know if that name itself, X to Skip, is something that's already trademarked by someone else. We haven't had anyone telling us to cease and desist, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, if you guys are keen, we can look into some hoodies or some tumblers or I don't know, something like I don't know, we'll chat amongst ourselves and see what it is that we can try to look towards. But yeah, let me not make this too long. We love you guys so much. Thank you so much for supporting the show. And we'll see you in the next episode. Stay good, stay healthy, and keep gaming. Peace out.